Right. Let's have a word. Look around you. We're drowning in a sea of cheap words, aren't we? People talk a brilliant game. They promise you the world in an email. They nod enthusiastically in meetings, assuring you it's all in hand. They sound confident. But when the time comes to actually do the thing, they vanish. Poof. Gone. Like smoke from a cheap cigar. Promises are thrown about like confetti at a wedding nobody wanted. This creates a fascinating opportunity. In a world where reliability is a rare, precious metal, the man who simply does what he says becomes extraordinarily powerful. He stands out not because he shouts the loudest, but because his actions provide the solid ground everyone seeks. I'm teaching my son this, a lesson that seems to have been forgotten. I tell him, I don't care how much talent you've got. It's like a magnificent sports car with a chocolate engine. Your word is the engine of your character. Now, let's get this straight from the outset. That's the brochure. Character is the product itself. You see a grand old oak tree in a field. It doesn't need to announce its strength. That is the kind of presence a man of his word has. My boy is a teenager now, full of energy and ideas. But I'm constantly reminding him the path to those moments is paved with very small, very boring bricks. The brick of getting out of bed when the alarm goes off. Let's get down to the brass tacks of it. It's a currency, more important than the car you drive. Every time you open your mouth to make a commitment, you're spending some of that currency. You're saying you can count on this. Every casual, thoughtless promise is a pinprick in the tire of your credibility. Keep doing it, and soon you're deflated on the side of the road. I see it with my lad and his friends. Now, here's a part of the lesson that many people find difficult. To make your yes powerful, you must learn the quiet art of saying no. We often say yes to everything. Yes, I can help you move house. Yes, I can take on that extra project. Isn't a commitment. It's a trap you've set for yourself. It's like a restaurant with a 50-page menu. You know it can't possibly do everything well. They focus on what they can deliver with excellence. People have a very romantic idea of how reputations are built. That's the stuff of films. It's nonsense. In the real world, a man's reputation isn't built in a single glorious afternoon. Turning up on time, every single time. Doing the task you were given even when your boss isn't checking your work. Cleaning the tools after you've used them, even though you're the last one to leave. This is what I try to show my boy, not just tell him. When we're working on the old Land Rover and a job is proving fiddly and frustrating, but that's the moment of truth. Think of your reputation like a bank account. Every single time you keep your word, you make a deposit. You said you'd be there at 8 and you walked in at 7:55. Deposit. Conversely, every time you break your word, you make a withdrawal. And here's the crucial part. Withdrawals are always bigger than deposits. But breaking it once, just once, can wipe out that balance and then some. When your trust balance is high, people give you opportunities. They give you responsibility. A high trust balance is a man's greatest asset. Right, listen up, because this is where most people get it hopelessly wrong. In the crucible of some great dramatic crisis. What utter tosh. That's not where character is tested, that's where it's revealed. Happens in the dozens of tiny, seemingly insignificant choices. Most blokes think they'll rise to the occasion when the big moment comes, but they won't, because they can't even manage to show up on time for a simple coffee. Before you make promises to others, there's someone you must deal with first, the man in the mirror. The promises you make to yourself are the most important contracts you will sign, because there are no external consequences. When you break a promise to yourself, it feels like a victimless crime. The harm is catastrophic. This is the first lesson in reliability I drill into my son. Promise, make your bed the moment you get out. Promise, read 10 pages before you turn on the TV. Section 3. The inconvenience test. It's easy to do what you said you'd do when it's sunny. A promise is only truly tested when it becomes inconvenient. You promised a friend you'd help him move, and the sofa is calling your name. Do you do it anyway? I remember when my lad was younger, he'd promised to help our elderly neighbour with his garden every weekend. He came to me looking for a way out. I told him, "You gave the man your word." You cannot expect other people to trust you if you do not fundamentally trust yourself. It's an impossible equation. You know deep down that you are not reliable. It's the man who needs to talk a big game. It's the man who procrastinates endlessly. These are the symptoms of a weak internal foundation. Building self-trust is the engine that powers everything else. When you have a long history of keeping promises to yourself, you no longer need to shout about your intentions. Trust is not a switch you can just flip. Think of it like planting a tree. It's a slow, painstaking process that happens almost invisibly, day by day. Every time you keep a small promise, you are watering that seed. You are adding a tiny, imperceptible layer of growth to its trunk. I'm showing this to my son with the old car we're restoring. He couldn't understand why we were spending weeks just cleaning and cataloguing rusty bolts. The strength, the reliability, comes from all the boring, slow, careful work done underneath. Now, here's the brutal, terrifying counterpoint to that slow growth. Can be incinerated by one act of foolishness, one lie. It happens silently. People will rarely confront you. The phone just stops ringing. Imagine you've promised your boss you'll have a crucial presentation ready for a make-or-break client meeting. He won't shout at you. Let's be clear about something. You're a human being. You will make mistakes. A mistake is forgetting to call someone back once. A pattern is consistently failing to return calls. A mistake is an isolated incident. This is the distinction I am constantly hammering home with my son. Or is this the fourth week in a row he's forgotten? The second is a pattern that must be broken, immediately and decisively. Think of the trust you've built as a massive dam, built slowly, piece by piece, over years. It holds back a reservoir of opportunity. But then comes the moment of carelessness. This is the single catastrophic crack in the face of the dam. But to the people living in the valley, that one crack changes everything. Or you're a father who has always been there for your son, and you miss it for a trivial reason. That one broken promise becomes a crack in the dam of his faith in you. Section 1. The weight of a man. Some men are like helium balloons, but utterly weightless, drifting aimlessly on the slightest breeze. Others have the density of granite. When they enter a room, they don't need to shout or perform. Their presence alone changes the atmosphere. This is the ultimate lesson I want to leave with my son. Did I show up for the football match in the pouring rain? He won't remember what I said, he'll remember that I showed up. A man with no word has no weight, a feather in the wind. Be the man whose presence means something. Turn the lens away from theory and point it directly at yourself. It is desperately short of men who simply do the work. Which one are you? Where are you breaking those tiny, seemingly insignificant promises to yourself and to others? The phone call you didn't return, The promise to your children that you quietly hoped they'd forget? This is a decision for right now. It's the quiet, daily grind of showing up. Be the man whose handshake is a contract. Just deliver. Say less and let your actions speak with a thunderous, undeniable clarity. That is how you become the man you were meant to be. Now go and do the work.